Alright guys, with a couple of NBA games upon us, let's just discuss the biggest disappointments in the NBA thus far. What teams or what players do you guys feel like are the most disappointing to you guys thus far?
You usually start?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say Zion Williamson is the biggest disappointment. And I know might come as a surprise because, well, he hasn't played. Well, exactly. All the hype this kid got, all the hype he got going into the league, and he didn't play. Obviously, it's not his fault. I'm not trying to like tear him down or something because I feel he's gonna be a great player, but it's just such a disappointment for all fans out there not being able to see him play or having to wait. And now this question comes up: is he gonna be a bust? Which I don't think he will be, but it's a huge disappointment out there for all fans. They can't watch this guy play. They have to wait, and we don't really know when he's going to come back.
I'll just say this. What was it, 2 weeks ago, Simon and I and Sauce sat up here and talked about how Steph Curry was going to be the MVP of the league, and the Warriors were going to be just fine. At the beginning of the year, they literally went from a dynasty to the 14th seed, tied for last in the West. They're 2-6. I know obviously injuries, Steph's out, but even with Steph, they were horrific. Honestly, I don't see how it's not the Warriors. They literally went from a finals contender this year to, top 5 pick.
Yeah. I can't dispute any of you guys' selections. Obviously I agree with you. Zion Williamson is a major disappointment. Golden State Warriors, obviously another disappointment. However, with the Golden State Warriors, we knew they weren't going to be the same team. And with the injuries, it's too bad. It's very unfortunate that Steph Curry had to go out with that wrist injury. But without injuries aside, the Sacramento Kings have been the most disappointing team thus far in the NBA season. Here's why. Listen. I know you should get it.
I'm listening.
I know.
I want to hear it.
But
you're wrong.
This was not because of injuries of any players getting injured. They have De'Aaron Fox. They have Buddy Hield. They have Marvin Bagley. This team had aspirations to make it to the postseason. But who ruined it? Of course, their GM, Vlad Divac. As he always does. Vlad Divac is an incompetent owner. We laugh about the Knicks all the time. You know the saying, when it isn't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Vlad Divac does the opposite. When a head coach comes in and he helps the roster out, what happens? They fire him. Bad coach, we'll keep you around a little bit. Good coaches, you're out. Let's do a couple years ago. Once upon a time, the Denver Nuggets head coach, Mike Malone, was on the Sacramento Kings. Gets fired. Meanwhile, he's a coach of the year candidate with the Denver Nuggets. The Sacramento Kings had a winning record when Mike Malone was the head coach. Fire him. Next is George Karl. George Karl, 2013, coach of the year. He was one of 9 coaches to garner over 1,000 wins. Okay, great coach. What did Vlad Divac do? Kick him out too. Then we got Dave Hueger, most recent memory. This team last season, Sacramento Kings, no one was talking about them. And look, they didn't make the playoffs, but they were really close. What does Vlad Divac do? Fire him too. Fire George Karl, fire Mike Malone, fire everyone.
Sam, you're wrong.
This is the most disappointing team.
Sam, you're wrong.
Got some really good points.
It's disappointing.
No, look, Sam, you're wrong. Because first off, it is not Vlade Divac's fault.
He's an incompetent GM.
Listen,
he should not have an NBA job.
Vlade Divac turned Boogie Cousins, who didn't want to play for the Kings, into Buddy Hield, Harrison
He made
Barnes.
DeMarcus Cousins disgruntled.
Now, look, the reason Mike Malone was fired, I agree. That was a horrible firing, whatever. They hired George Karl instead. George Karl was horrible as the Kings coach. He was good when it was the era of players didn't really have any choice in what was going on. But, again, that was Boogie One and George Karl. I don't even know how I'm talking about this. We're talking about disappointments. We're talking about disappointments this season, right? And we're talking about the Kings being the biggest disappointment.
Yes, first half the playoffs are done. De'Aaron Fox can be an all-star right now.
They started the season 0-5, whatever it is, but they're 2-1 in their last 3 games. Things are looking up. But also, where did we see the Kings at the beginning of the season? We saw the Kings as maybe an 8 seed at the beginning of the season, right? Now they're 2-6, it is what it is.
They have star talent.
And you're telling me
they have star talent.
I agree.
They should be 14th seed in the West.
They should not.
They shouldn't be bottom.
I agree.
I should be a bottom.
You're telling me the Warriors. You're telling me the Warriors shouldn't be.
But
the Warriors, they were playing with injuries.
Yes, exactly.
They were playing with injuries. Injuries happen purely by chance.
They can't control that. The Kings, no one's hurt. No one of significance is hurt. It's all them just playing poorly. That's why I kind of agree with Sam. Just going off of Zion. The Kings have been a huge disappointment.
I know.
The Warriors are injured. That's an excuse. All right, it's a viable excuse.
I know it's tough. I know when you love your team so much, you never want them to be the most disappointing team. When I was a Knicks, I'm a Knicks fan, and I was a Knicks fan, and I've accepted at this point. You're a suffering Kings fan. Is it okay? Let's
welcome to the club.
Is it really okay? When we look at the Sacramento Kings history, the past 10 years, past 20 years, whatever, since the Western Conference Final against the Lakers, they have been nothing but horrible, right? So there's no way they can be a disappointment if there's no expectations at all. The expectations this year were
with the young players
at the beginning,
young and rising stars.
At the beginning of every year,
young and rising stars.
They've regressed.
That's
what you want to see.
Buddy Hield.
It's 8 games.
Marvin Bagley.
Look. The Sacramento Kings will bounce back. The Golden State Warriors were absolutely.
I like the Kings.
I love the Kings.
When's the last time the Kings made the playoffs?
2006. It's been so that's what I'm saying. Is like, how can they be a disappointment if there's no expectations at all? Because the Golden State Warriors were in the finals, have been a dynasty the last 4 or 5 years, and now they're maybe the worst team in the West.
Ian, you're wrong. You're wrong. We're gonna end like that.
Yes.
You're wrong.
Completely.
You're wrong.
Completely.
You've been good so far, but you're wrong today. You're wrong today.
I'm sorry, but
it's okay. Ian.
Look,
people are wrong all the time.
Kings should move back to Rochester, move back to the Royals.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, okay.
They're in the Eastern Conference. Fire Luke Walton, bring back Dave Yeager.
No, they need to get a new owner who will take control of the Sacramento Kings and will fire Vlad Divac and get a competent GM in there who can restore balance to this roster. He get an actual head coach who knows what he's doing to bring this team to a playoff contention.
Vlad Divac, not the problem. That's all I'm gonna say.